Hi everyone and welcome to what might be the last episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. We are about to fight Kianya again, I assume, and I'm not quite sure how much more there is to do after that. Let's find out. Okay, this looks certainly interesting. So do we have to kill these things first again? Possibly. Well then. How do we want to do this? First of all, let's activate Koshei, as always. Rakter could use a heal, I think. Yeah. He might have to heal himself, actually. Let's just use a premium medkit. It's not like we're going to use them for anything else. And I can either move into cover or give Koshei more action points. It's probably better to move into cover. This thing looks nasty. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to target the odds first. That seems like a good idea. Alright, let's try to stun it. If we even can, which I don't think we can. -2 AP. Yeah, 7 damage with that. Unfortunate. So, Deadeye shot. Like so. These things are quite resistant. Let's spread out. That seems like a good idea to me. As for Duncan, he can move back here. And full auto fire? Sure. Nice. That was pretty decent damage right there. As for Koshei, laser, can we kill it? I think we can kill it on this turn. One more shot? Yes, it's down. Nice. There's one more. And I think I saw... Yeah. There's one on that island or whatever it is. So, kill the behemoth? I think so. 23%. Let's do it. 14 damage, good. We might not be able to kill it on this turn. Well, first of all, let's give Koshei more action points. And then just take a shot. Like so. No laser on this turn, unfortunately. Let's do some damage. Burst fire. I can't really use a grenade. So that's not an option unless I want to damage myself, which I generally don't. Let's try Pommel Strike. There, -2 AP. And full auto fire. I don't think we can kill it on this turn, but let's try to do as much damage as possible. We would have to crit. No, it's down. Alright, good. So we killed both. Let's target Kianya. How much health does she actually have? I can't actually see. Alright, whatever. Oh, healed by servitors. Right, so she will get healed by her buddies. So by that thing over there as well? I assume that's the case, yes. 170 health. Well, let's start doing damage then. I might have to kill that thing over there, but obviously Hulk can't target it. Laser. Okay, not bad, 38 damage. Let's just kill it, it doesn't have a lot of health, it's down. We killed all her buddies, apparently. Alright. Now we can target her. I'm not sure if that was necessary, but we killed them anyway. It does seem like they were healing her, so I assume that was in fact necessary. Should be easy enough now. Unless she has some nasty surprises. We'll find out. Just a regular single shot. We might have to reload on the next turn. How much damage will she actually do? Not that much. Yeah, this is not very impressive actually. Hey, come back here. I'm not done with you. So Duncan, reload. Like so, and full auto. Decent, 15 damage. And just use the double attack. And miss twice, because why the heck not, apparently. She's already down to half health. Another shot. Few more rounds. Should be enough. Come on, few more shots. And back to the drone. We got the laser now? No, we need to wait one more turn for the laser. That was actually kind of underwhelming, I have to say. Oh, we got some achievement. For shooting straight. She's almost dead. Well, technically not dead, because we can't kill a Yama King. But you know what I mean. Come on. Are we done? Almost. I didn't even need the medkits. There. We defeated her. As the Yama King's body crumples, a cackling sound fills the air. Once again, her broken body begins to knit itself back together. The flow of black ichor from her many wounds slows to a stop and reverses, the vicious fluid snaking its way back up into the holes and ruptures that it poured from. Projections on top of projections, all aspects of our divine being shed as easily as lizard sheds its tail. You cannot harm us, meat, but you have amused us. Kianya halts, her crowned head cocking to one side. Perhaps you are worthy of an audience after all. Perhaps. Her voice trails off, and her head tilts upward. From behind you, you can hear the pounding sound of approaching footsteps. Okay. What now? Oh. Oh, they are here! As she falls into position behind you, Gobet's jaw drops open. Raymond Black steps forward, a look of grim determination on his face. Oh, that isn't good. She shrinks back as Kianya turns to face her. Her voice is full of awe and terror. That isn't good at all. I did this. I brought this creature here. My fault. My responsibility. The Queen with the Thousand Teeth cackles with glee. It has returned to us. The tunnel builder. The architect of my ascendancy. The creature leans in toward Raymond, its spidery fingers weaving hypnotically. The thing's robes billow like the bell of the jellyfish, pulsing organically with the rhythm of a heartbeat. You will have a special place in our court, Builder. You will stand by our side, exalted for all time, a living token of our unending rule, and an undying symbol of the folly of a man. I have been a fool, yes. His hands clench into fists so tight that his knuckles go white. The skin on his face is flushed with the effort of fighting through the stammer jumbling his words. A great fool, but I will not be your slave. I will stop you. The Queen with 1,000 teeth leans forward, her movements full of alien grace. The gaping crescent of her mouth parts into a ghastly smile, and you can see row upon row of fangs. They run down her throat in overlapping layers, a bristling forest of glistening, sharpened enamel. Leave him alone. I earned an audience. Attack. Okay. Leave him alone. You were talking to me, remember? You are bold, Meat, but you are also correct. We do not break our promises, and you have earned some modicum of respect. Kianya turns her full attention back to you, and the smile widens. You can feel it deep in your gut. It tunnels into you like a lamprey, leaves you feeling empty and cold. In truth, you amuse us. Your persistence in the face of the inevitable is a pleasure to behold, and so we have decided to grant you a rare honor. We offer you a deal. Go on then, I'm listening. You're trying to buy yourself time. Yeah, okay, go on, I want to hear this deal. Our terms are simple. We want you to leave us. To leave. Leave the chattel here to their fates. Forget about them. Acknowledge that they are ours. And then, think of them no more. Leave the walled city now, and do not return. Accept that this is our domain, now and forevermore. In exchange, we will grant you 14 years of good fortune, your every wish fulfilled, your every desire granted, a charmed life, from the moment you leave to the day that our deal elapses. You can do this? With a wave of our hand. We have swum the waters of fortune since the beginning of time. It is trivial matter for us to divert them. So, will you accept our offer? Will you take the deal? Yeah, I don't think so. I have a counter proposal. Yeah, how about you go back to where you belong? Duncan's brow furrows. He looks surprised and uneasy. His grip tightens on his rifle. Kianya leans in towards you, her face folding open into a hideous smile. A counter-proposal, you say. How amusing. Out with it then, meat. Tell us what you would have of us. You're going to return to the place you came from, and you're going to close the door behind you. Yep, sounds about right. She cackles. And tell us, slave thing, why would we do such a thing? What do you have to offer? Well, I won't kill you for one. That sounds like a fair enough offer to you. How about money? If you do it, I'll feed you. I'll bring you fresh slaves. Now, how about now? Yeah, I won't kill you. The meat threatens us. We are not impressed or amused. It is time that you learned a lesson, slave thing. We will teach you the price of impertinence. Alright then, so one more fight. No more friends for you this time. So, Pommel Strike, well, that probably won't actually do anything. Definitely not. There, that was really nice damage right there. Okay, it might be a good idea to spread out. I don't think she has any AoE damage, but let's not risk it. We'll spread out. Crochet again. I assume this is actually the final fight now, or at least the last fight, that is. Anyway, extra AP for Crochet. Without her friends, she should be easy enough to kill. Yes, she's already down to like half health. She's going to die on this turn, I think. Yeah, she's actually going down. RIP. As you watch, the Yama King's broken carcass withers and dissipates. Seconds later, all that's left of her is a cloud of rancid mist. Huh? That was easier than I thought it would be. I guess that she was hurt worse than she let on, trying to trick us into taking a bad deal. That doesn't mean she won't come back. All we've done is buy ourselves some time. Well, yeah. That wasn't really her, it was just a projection. It won't be long before she finishes licking her wounds and sends another. I believe that you are correct. The control console is just over there. We must move quickly. Well, how about we move then? Fortune Engine console. The Fortune Engine itself stands before you, an enormous malevolent presence that fills the test chamber ahead. Raymond pushes forward, leaning in to study the control console with a look of determination on his face. I will close the rift. I just need... He bends over the terminal, frowning. His eyes dart from readout to readout. As you watch, the blood drains from his cheeks. What's wrong? Destroy the thing before she comes back. I can't. There is one way. Flow of astral energy moving from the inner walled city through the tunnel. I know what it is. I can feel it too. The energy is coming from the people that she's feeding on. Their essence, their spirits, for lack of better word. If I destroy the machine now, it will collapse the tunnel. All of those people will have the better part of their essence, what makes them who and what they are, trapped inside, with her, forever. Thousands of people condemned to an eternity with that parasitic thing. Do we have another option? Yes. Someone could enter the tunnel, close the rift safely. The people would be saved, restored to life in the real world. And what happens to the person inside the tunnel? He stays there, forever, with her. There's no way out. Once the tunnel is closed, there is a long pause as the assembled group digests Raymond's words. Duncan nods to himself, his jaw clenched. He pushes forward. I'll do it. Just tell me what buttons to press. The old man stares at the controls, cold fear washed across his face. No. If anyone is to do this, it must be me. It will be me. Hang on every minute. No, not Raymond. My name is Edward Chang, and I built this machine. I set this avalanche in motion. Whether I meant it or not, it is my responsibility to stop it. He turns to you, a look of resignation on his face. That is what this is all about, what it's been about since the very beginning. Raymond, listen to me. You're too weak for this. Just tell me what to do. Now, the Yama King could return at any moment. There is no time to teach you what to do in there. I must set things in motion. It must be me. He turns to you. Goodbye, Liang. He smiles sadly. Thank you for coming to Hong Kong. Thank you for coming when I called. I owed you one for pulling me off the streets. We're even now. It was my duty. I did what had to be done. For what it's worth, I'm glad that I did. The old man flips a lever and steps into the machine. There is a flash of light, and Raymond Black is gone.
Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story. That if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. My past is a terrible story. I didn't expect it to end with redemption. Sometimes the debts of the past can't be repaid. But we do what we can. I have done what I can to right my wrongs. And I accept the consequences.
Well, looks like this is it. Aftermath. You depart from the Prosperity Chamber and are instantly caught up in a wave of refugees fleeing for their lives. Struggling through the panicked wave of humanity, you are able to retrace your steps and eventually reach Hioi. Although the typhoon has passed, the scene is wet and chaotic. The newly homeless crowd the streets, dazedly wandering, searching the missing loved ones, and nursing injuries. Relief workers are already on the scene, providing blankets and medical aid. Rescue personnel carry the stunned and wounded to safety. The entire area has been cordoned off by the Hong Kong police force, while knight-errant officers and a military peacekeeping force attempt to maintain order. You emerge from the Kowloon-walled city to bustling clusters of activity. Refugees huddling together, staring back at their lost homes. Government troops deploying from armored personnel carriers. News vans settling up remote camera feeds, while reporters scramble to find the right angle for their broadcasts. The air is electric with the threat of potential violence as panicked peacekeepers eye the growing crowd of evacuating poor. Gobet's eyes dart furtively as she turtles her head between her shoulders. This place is hot. The cops are swarming the place, and that APB is still out on us. Just take it easy. Try to blend into the crowd. I want to have a look around. Let's head to the boat. Sounds good. It's gonna take a year's worth of showers to wash the experience off of me. Looks like we get to see a man on the street interview our way. The press already have their hooks in someone, hoping for a sound bite. And is what when you started running? Yeah, it was bad in there. Shooting, screaming. I was terrified. And what caused this, sir? Why are people flooding out of the walled city injured and disoriented? It's like everyone is saying, some sort of chemical leak, a drug lab exploded or something, caused mass hallucinations. There you have it, Sonny. Our third report of mass hallucinations and violence caused by an explosion of an illegal drug lab. And while reports remain sketchy, it appears that street crime is again on the rise. As you can see, it's still turmoil and confusion here as police and executive council peacekeepers respond to the emergency situation, attempting to maintain order. But in all this chaos, in the maze of poverty that is Kowloon Walled City, we may never know what really happened there. Back to you in the studio, Sonny. What are you looking at? There was no illegal drug spill. Mass hallucinations, do you believe that story? No, I don't believe that story. He laughs sardonically and continues packing. Am I wearing a t-shirt that says, I'm a fool, feed me your line of corporate bullshit? No, but in my experience, the rest of the world is. Everything you see, everything you've been taught, every official you elect, all bought and paid off, and paid for by the people pulling the strings. Yeah, well, no one's telling me what to think. Of course not, pal. You're different. Looks like you just came from the inside, so tell me, what did you really see in there? A mess that Josephine Chang never cleaned up, a demon goddess named Kiania, she says hi by the way, the results of corporate greed on the little people, a machine that creates luck, the bad kind. Well, these are all kind of true. Let's go with the machine. A bad luck machine caused all of this. He shrugs. Must have been a hell of a lot of bad luck, and I'm sure this machine has something to do with some corp experimenting on the people in the walled city. It's like their little petri dish. They use them like lab rats in there. They test food additives, body modifications, pharmaceuticals, whatever some junior executive can dream up. Nothing surprises me anymore. Doesn't it bother you? He blinks at you. Why would it? That's just the way it works. You think I give a shit about journalism? Do you think anyone does anymore? Everyone on this island knows my news service is just a mouthpiece for the executive council. Hell, if you look close enough, you'll probably find that it's owned by a member of the executive council. People buy what we feed them because the world is changing and it's scary. They feel small. They need scapegoats to blame and authority figures to tell them what to think. My news network gives them that. He points at the shield screen mounted on the side of his news van. And there's a prime example of an authority figure, Jo Chang, rising star on the executive council. Just look at her spinning this to her own ends, talking about the humanitarian relief effort she's mounting. You know, go ahead and take your calm. I'm gonna go before this scene turns into some kind of riot. It usually does. This is Hulk. I lost contact with the soldiers I sent into the walled city with you. And now these Sang assholes and government troops are all over the place. Get over here and tell me what the hell happened. Alright. What about the Cubs? There's still an APB out on us. Some mysterious benefactor lifted the APB on you. You can hear her stuck on a little black cigar. We'll talk more when you get there. When you get here. I want to sleep for about a year. I'm heading to the Kraken, Liang. I could use some sack time too. I'll see you there. Alright then. Let's go talk with Auntie Chang then. For one last time, I assume. And see what she has to say. But this was certainly interesting. Let's see how it's going to end exactly. There she is. As you enter, kindly Chang is giving instructions to Strangler Bao, who nods enthusiastically. She looks over at you and holds up a hand. Wait. And send Wong and Ho to snatch some of those medical supplies off the relief trucks. With all the excitement, nobody's watching them at all. There will be a big black market for them over the next few weeks. Good thinking, Mrs. Chang. Hulk, I figured you were dead. Last I heard, my soldiers had found you and everyone was heading into the walled city. Then things went out of control. Where are my people? What the hell happened? They're dead. You really stealing medical supplies? We got separated in the walled city. Found out later that they were killed. Did we find out they were killed? I'm not actually sure what happened to them. The second group just kind of arrived. Well, I'm not sure it's true. I sent you 5 soldiers and they're all dead. Is that how you treat my resources? They died for a good cause. Looks like business is up these days. You'll make up for the loss. Soldiers die, that's what they're for. Please accept my apologies. Well, they did die for a good cause. And it's true that business is up. You'll make up the loss. It's true. Kalos. I like that. Well, they knew the risks. They had a shot at moving up and they missed. Forget them. I've got bigger problems, like customers and tenants streaming out of the walled city, screaming for their lives. like the Hong Kong police force and those Chang security shithills swarming the place. Now tell me what happened in the walled city. Or do I have to get an acetylene torch to ask nicely? It was a family matter. A new tenant tried to move in. The big, bad, terrifying kind from another dimension. Raymond Black accidentally summoned a demon god. We had to put her down. What kind? A Yama king. Kianya, the queen with 1,000 teeth. Never heard of her. But I know the Yama kings. My grandmother used to try to scare me with the stories about them. I guess that she thought she was teaching me something by scaring the shit out of me. I remember one Yama king specifically, Po Mang, the serpent of the setting sun. Oh yes, Po Mang promised wealth and influence for those willing to do what was necessary to take it. This is the story of Po Mang spoke to me. All he asked for in return were 44 hearts pulled from the chests of those closest to you, while they were still alive. Hearts from random victims wouldn't do, so those who took Po Mang's bargain would befriend others before taking their hearts, turning their entire network into a list of victims. Yes, Po Mang spoke to me, but I didn't listen. My apologies, Mrs. Chang, but one of the men you sent with the runners into the walled city is still alive. He stumbled into Wong and Ho as they were pulling medical supplies off a lorry. At least one came back alive. Our man says that Wong Lun Fat is dead. He got shot up by the Hong Kong police force inside the walled city. Our man saw it with his own eyes, Mrs. Chang. That sounds good. Does it make up for your dead soldiers, auntie? It wipes the state clean, my darling. Oh yes. You see, Wong Lun Fat was my superior in the Yellow Lotus, A438. He was also a pig. Tell our friend Hulk what that means, Mr. Bao, and say it slow so I can savor it. The death of Wong Lun Fat has opened a spot for you to move up, madam. You could be the next 438. The gods help those who seize opportunities. Mr. Bao, put every man we have on this. Spread the word. Kindly Chang says all debts to the Yellow Lotus are suspended for citizens of the walled city until order is restored, and no interest will compound either. Tell them that I have medical supplies too, and there will be no charge for them until the crisis is over. And after the crisis is over? When the laws of supply and demand take over, my darling, once I convince the relief forces that order has been restored in the walled city, they'll pull out. Thankful to be away from there. Within a week, the public will forget about the refugees, and the government will be pleased that their budget is no longer being drained by the poor. Medical supplies will dry up overnight, and prices will soar. I might not have brought Josephine Sang down, but I've got my career going again. Your career too, Mr. Bao. You'll be my new straw sandal. Good partners support one another. You have proven that, Mrs. Chang. This calls for a drink. Your loyalty and clear-headedness have proven immensely valuable, Mr. Bao. You are an effective ally, and I wish you great wealth and good fortune. Congratulations, what about my drink? Looks like you two are moving up in the world. Yes, and it appears your fortune is changing too, Hulk. Remember, you have a mysterious benefactor, one who lifted the APB on you. At least somebody likes me. It must be somebody powerful. I can't imagine it was Josephine Sang. After all, what would her motivation be? It's got to be someone else. One of the Josephine's enemies on the council? I'll tap my network, find out if I can. But that's for later. I'm missing an entire piece of your story, my darling. What happened at Prosperity Tower? Did you rescue Raymond Black? Did his mother wipe his memory? We got him, stopped his mother from wiping his memory. Impressive. You have become quite a Shadowrunner, Hulk. While you were in Prosperity Tower, did you find any incriminating data on Josephine Sang? Dirt? Something I can use? Toss her the data. We found financial statements that will get her in deep with the Executive Council and Joy. Something we can use. Financial shenanigans that will hurt Joe Sang with the Executive Council. As I recall, you were gonna back up the Nguyen truck for this. Well, just give her the data. Enjoy. We got 5,000 Nguyen. Not that is going to be very useful. Now I can take that dried up old bitch to the mat. With this, Josephine Chang's days on the Executive Council are numbered. Bao, it appears that my fortunes have truly changed. Our partnership has become quite enriching, Hulk. To my new #1 Shadowrunner, may our partnership continue to bear fruit. Let's hope it's a big, fat fruit. To the beginning of something big. Partnership, huh? Sorry, I make it a habit not to drink anything someone offers me, even crime lords. Well, let's drink, it's fine. Let's hope it's a big, fat fruit. I'm certain it will, Hulk. I have a good feeling about you. Candy Chang watches you drink, smiling her serpentine smile, then she downs her glass in one swallow and licks the rim. Now, before I get back to business, I must know, how did you go from rescuing Raymond Black to the walled city vomiting people? Ray built a machine in the walled city. It accidentally summoned the big bad thing. That's when everybody ran. If the demon summoning was accidental, what was his machine supposed to do in the first place? It created fortune? Your foster father created a magical fortune machine. Please tell me you have control of this device. Nope, sorry. That's a pity. I'm sure there are plenty of people who could benefit from it. Yeah, like you? Well, this business has certainly proved lucrative for me. I'm in a prime position to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. I only lost 4 men, and I got something I can use against Josephine Chang. Well, we can't all be lucky, Raymond wasn't. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. It doesn't sound like your foster father was in a position to be lucky, but judging by the way you've run the shadows, I'd say your luck is about to change. You've made quite a splash since arriving in Hong Kong, Hulk. Many Shadowruns completed in a very short time. The reports from our clients are glowing. Mostly. Don't forget what we did in the walled city. You can add closing the door on a demon goddess to the list. We made a difference. Perhaps for some. For a while. Listen to me, my sweet. When I was a girl, there had never been a pandemic like Vita's, but in 2010 it happened. We'd never seen death like that. A quarter of the world's population disappeared. It was miserable. It pushed us to our limits, but the survivors moved on, and then the spike babies started appearing, and dwarf babies, and then suddenly there were dragons, the goblinization and magic, and every time the world changed, we got used to it. So if a demon goddess decided that the walled city was her new living room, and you didn't, whatever you did, what would have happened? Perhaps the news would cover it, until the next sensation pulled their attention away, but after a while, it would be drowned out by the other crap competing for our attention, and the demon in the walled city would become the new normal. Well, I was there, and I stopped her. Yes, you did. You have made a habit of coming out on top, but let me give you a piece of advice for the future, my sweet. Something Mr. Chang used to tell me. Respect ghosts and gods, but keep away from them. It sounds like you almost lost your ass in the walled city. I think you'd best listen to that. No more demons from now on. So wise. Now get some sleep, Hulk. You look like shit. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the future. Bed sounds good. Bao, what's the status on those medical supplies? Alright, well, let's go to bed then, and maybe talk with some others. They are supposed to be back on the Kraken. Yep, here they are. The scene on the Kraken is quiet, save for the sounds of eating. The crew is crowded around Gobet's electric hot plate. Her cast iron pot simmers on top, and they hold bowls of soup in their hands. You recognize the smell: chicken-style soya broth, elbow macaroni, tinned ham, and the heaping scoop of egg-flavored mycoprotein. The mood is somber. You're eating. I thought you were all going to bed. We figured we'd hang out for a while. No one could remember the last time we ate. Besides, no one could sleep anyway. She means me. I'm too fucked up to sleep. Trying not to think about Raymond. They're just keeping me company, feeding me and pretending not to be tired. Talking a bit. So you're not afraid of going to sleep and having another nightmare? What are you talking about? We've been debriefing a bit. Yeah, talking about all that's gone on, everything we've been through together. Sorry about Raymond, Seattle. You too, Duncan. He was trying to do good with that machine. You too need to remember that. Wood drops his head. His words come out slowly, as if they were forcibly extracted. I can't believe he did that. Gave himself to that demon. I think he did what he came to do. I wish he was here with us now. He did what he had to do. I guess we all did. Hard to believe we defeated a god, demon god, from another plane of existence. Hard to believe that Josephine Sang is going to remain untarnished by this whole thing. Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure about that. 20 years of misery, 20 years of suffering, or tens of thousands, hundreds maybe. That's the way it is, the way the world works. The powerful play their games, and the little people pay the price. She'll see justice someday. She has to. But one thing doesn't add up for me. Why was Josephine Sang so intent on shutting us down? Why wouldn't she be? You saw what she was responsible for. No, think about it. The Hong Kong police force snipers, the plastic-faced man, all of the resources that she poured into capturing Raymond and hunting us down. I mean, she's already covered her tracks with that illegal drug lab explosion, right? So why not just let Ray do his thing, and then cover it up afterward? It doesn't add up. He's kind of right. She couldn't let anyone see prosperity, it had to be the fortune engine itself. Yeah, I think you're right. From everything Raymond said, that she was supposed to be pulling, turning toxic. But I felt something in that room, a flow of positive chi that I didn't expect. I think that it was leaving the world city. I bet that machine did something else, something that Raymond didn't know about. What if it was a siphon? What if Josephine Sang was stealing the cast of positive chi from the world city, leeching it for her own benefit? She sealed up the fortune engine, leached the good chi for herself, and took Sang Mechanical Services from the minor company Ray's father built to the ballbuster that it is today. That's how she got herself on the Executive Council of Hong Kong. Of course, this is all speculation, can't prove any of it. But if Josephine was using positive chi that the fortune engine was casting off, she isn't getting it anymore. Your foster father saw to that. I wonder what will happen to her. Guess we'll have to wait and see. So Seattle, what now? Now bed. Good plan for everybody, but especially you, Liang. You look like shit. Why does everybody tell me that? Oh. Okay, optional objectives. Yep, let's catch up with everyone, I guess. So, we'll go downstairs first and talk with Gaicho. Gaicho is in the process of cleaning his cabin as you enter. Using a small hand broom, he sweeps dust and debris about into small piles. Sensing your arrival, however, he pauses. Hulk, it is not every day that one can say they fought an ancient god and won, and it is an unbelievable story. I have a hard time believing it myself. It all seems like a dream. I feel somewhat the same. Perhaps it is the supernatural force, supernatural nature of the Yama kings, or the mind's own tendency to compartmentalize. Regardless, it did happen, and we survived. A challenge worthy of a legend. How do you feel about being part of that? I feel like I need a nap. I'd rather not do anything like that again. I do not blame you. Once in a lifetime is quite enough for me as well. I am quite content to let the hoary old gods stay on their side of the veil, playing whatever inscrutable games amuse them. For any other manner of combat, however, there is no one I would rather stand with. I'm glad you're part of the team, Gaichu. Excellent. Then I think I will get to cleaning, and if you need me for anything, well, you know where to find me. So that's Gaichu, or Actor is next. Rakter eyes you impassively. He wears an easy smile, but his eyes are as cold and unfeeling as Koshei's sensors. Well, my friend, quite an evening. We fought and treated with an extra-dimensional being, prevented her from nesting in the walled city. and shut down a machine that was twisting fate itself. A rather impressive list of accomplishments, wouldn't you say? I'll take it. Yes, my friend. Yes, of course you will. So, what's next for your actor? Why, I'll remain here in Hioi, of course. This place is perfect for my needs. I can easily acquire any materials that I might need, and with your help, I have acquired a certain level of proficiency at evading the police. This will be the test bed for future of our species, the birthplace of new form of life, and I will help to usher it into the world. You know how that sounds, right? And you know what I am, what I can do. You will be beside me when that time comes, yes? Might be, you never know. That depends on exactly what you're planning to do. And that remains an open question. I suppose that we'll just have to wait for ourselves. The anticipation will be invigorating. In the interim, be well, my friend, and rest while you can. There is more looming on the horizon that you could possibly dream of. So that was Ractor. And now we can talk with Duncan, Gobet, and Isobel. You enter Wool's cabin to sound of his neck cracking at a horrifying volume. You catch his eye as he nods, and then begins his standard stretching regimen. I wish there was a Stafford shack in this damn country. I need some nerves and Brahma fizz or something. That Gobet story is heinous. I think we should talk, Duncan, about Raymond. It's nasty, no doubt. Yeah, I stay away from that. Did she offer you an oyster? Nah, we're not that tight. I mean, I don't visit her bank all the time like you do. They're a good crew, aren't they? Yeah, they really got the job done. Defeating a demon queen? Yeah, I'd say so. Long goddamn day. Feels good to stretch. Yeah, I bet. You doing okay? Yeah, sure. I took a few hits, but I'll be okay. Come on, Wu. Raymond's dead. We have to acknowledge it. He's not dead, Liang. Didn't you hear her? She's gonna feast on him, torture him. He's worse than dead. Way worse. He left us, and now he's gonna be tortured for 1,000 years, or some such shit. He was my father, Duncan. I need to forgive him and move on. I feel like you do. Betrayed. Wronged. Raymond paid for his mistakes. No question about that. No question about it. High fucking price. What about you? What do you think about Raymond, his mom, the fortune engine, this whole messed up business? We beat the queen with 1,000 teeth. Can't imagine anyone else in the Barrens could claim that. I think we're pretty damn good Shadowrunners. I would say that we got roped into some truly fucked up, foggy bullshit. Well, it's true. Ain't that the truth? Time for bed, Mr. True. I think we deserve a good night's sleep. Get out of here. I'll see you in the morning. So that was Duncan. Next up we got Gobet and Isobel. Isobel looks up at you, a troubled expression on her face. If she's found any peace from your victory in the walled city, she isn't showing it. Well, we did it. Kianya is gone, and we never have to set foot in the walled city again. I guess that I don't need these memories anymore. Don't you? They're a part of you after all. So is a kidney stone. Doesn't mean that you wanna hang on to it. She pauses, frowning. But in all seriousness, something is holding me back. These memories are like torture, but deleting them doesn't feel right, and I don't know why. Look, if you delete those memories, you'll be doing yourself what Josephine Sang was trying to do to Raymond. She says nothing, just stares. A moment later she nods. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing, changing my past through omission and rewriting my present by doing it. I think that it's a form of self-mutilation, kinda. It makes me feel uneasy. So what do you want to do? I don't know. I'm thinking I'll maybe sleep on it. I think that's a good call. It's been a big day. Yeah, a bit. You can probably use the rest too. Good night, Hulk. Rest well, you've earned it. And finally, Gobet. As you enter Gobet's cabin, you find her sipping from an enormous mug. Something dark and steamy sloshes as she lowers the vessel. Her rats squeak happily from their perches on her shoulders. That was a hell of a thing, wasn't it? We fought a Yama king, and we won. I'd say that it's time for a celebration. Got anything to drink around here? Sure do. But if you think I'm breaking it out tonight, you're crazy. I'm exhausted, Seattle. I don't think that I can keep my eyes open for much longer. If we're gonna celebrate our victory in style, I don't wanna pass out on the 10-minute mark. You must be tired too. To be frank, I don't even know how you're still standing. Sheer force of will. She smirks at you. Yeah, I'll bet. Go exert your will in your cabin. Then, we mere mortals need to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow though, right? I mean, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, Gobet, I'll see you then. Yeah, right. Good, I'll see you then. Oh, and Seattle? Yeah? Sweet dreams. And that's that, so let's go sleep. Go to sleep and end the campaign. Yep, let's do that. You drop your head onto the pillow and hold the rough naval blanket over you. The Kraken rocks like a cradle, and moments later you are wrapped in the comforting arms of sleep. There are no nightmares, only shadows. The story of the Walled City riots circulates local news networks for nearly a week. Few outside of Hong Kong hear about the incident, and of those that do, even fewer care. By the end of the month, the city is back to business as usual. In Hioi, the flow of refugees eventually stops to a trickle, and those who do escape tell stories of a terrifying demon goddess, and of an old man who sacrificed his soul to banish her. Their mad ramblings are generally met with pity or contempt. After the incident in the Walled City, the unbroken, lucky streak that propelled Chang Mechanical Services into the limelight comes to an abrupt end. Evidence of Josephine Chang's culpability in the Walled City riots, as delivered by a reliable source, is aired on the Horizon News Network, and the corporation's stock prices go into a freefall. Within a year, Wu Jing buys out, absorbs, and dismantles the company, and Josephine Chang is quietly filed away in a corporate prison. She remains there, buried behind the walls of concrete and rebar, until she hangs herself 3 months later. Hioi remains a safe port for call for smugglers, gangsters, and Shadowrunners alike. You are no exception. The shadows here welcome you, in a way that Seattle never did. You've earned the respect of your fixer, your clients, and your community. And now that the APB on you and your team has been lifted by parties unknown, you are free to operate openly in Hong Kong. This place is yours now. You're home. And that was Shadowrun Hong Kong! So, if you made it all the way here, thanks for joining me on this adventure. This was definitely the best RPG of 2015 for me. At least one I enjoyed the most. The story was amazing. The writing was amazing, I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.